Hey skiers, I'm Jeff from skiessentials.com.
I'm Bob. Happy Friday.
Welcome back to our Top 5 Fridays ski industry news videos. Been a great week here in Stowe.
Yeah, finally got back to winter, a bunch of snowmaking.
Right.
There's a little bit of natural snow.
Yeah.
It rained today, but whatever.
It was a minor blip on the radar.
No, it wasn't nearly as catastrophic as the events we've seen.
I think it's done raining now.
Yeah, back to a little bit of snow.
It might be raining down here, but up on the mountain, I think it only rained until like 10 a.m.
Well, it wouldn't be a week of skiing here in Vermont without a day of rain at least.
Well, you gotta have like a little bit of rain to make the mediocre groomer days feel fantastic.
It definitely makes for a whole different set of expectations.
No, it's been better than mediocre.
Yeah, totally.
I think we're getting close to being back to average base depths.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll touch on this a little bit, I think, in the second topic of the week. Before we get into the week's industry news, just a couple of announcements. We just started a 20% off MLK weekend sale on skiessentials.com. It's 20% site-wide, excluding things like current 2023 model year products that are still under their minimum advertised price restrictions. Mm-hmm. So we're just unable to discount things like that. And I think there's a couple others like Cross Country Skis and Smith.
And packages.
But
still, like a ton of stuff, like 2022 skis and stuff like
deals.
That. Really good deals.
Yep. So take advantage of that. And then if you're watching this and you happen to be in, I guess, the general Vermont area, we are doing some really fun sales in Pinnacle Ski and Sports here in Stowe, as well as Basin Ski and Sports down in Killington. Were these hand gestures at all correct? No.
That way.
Pinnacle Ski and Sports in Stowe, Basin Ski and Sports in Killington. And it's kind of fun the way that we're doing it. We're doing it based on the amount of snow at the, hold on, I'm backwards again. The amount of snow at the Mount Mansfield snow stake or the trail count down at Killington.
Yep.
So basically dependent on the amount of snow or the amount of open trails at Killington, you're either going to get 10 or 20 or 30% off, which is pretty much just store-wide. I can't think of any major restrictions for those.
No, and it's fun the way they're doing it, just kind of playing on kind of the mediocre winter we've had and saying, well, if we don't get snow, then you get a better deal.
If it starts raining again, you're going to get 30% off. And I think in both locations, we're kicking it off at 20%. We're right around, last reported number at the snow stake on Mount Mansfield was 18 inches, which, let me just fast forward 1 second here. Mammoth has a 230-inch base.
Yeah, I read that they were at like 440 inches for the year or something.
Could we just
like
have
that?
60 of those inches?
Right,
or
not even like
30?
Yeah.
That'd be great. Like if we had 48 inches at the stake right now instead of 18 inches.
Yeah, it'd be all over the place. It'd be great.
Drastically different skiing experience. But anyways, if you're in the area, head on over to Pinnacle or head down to Basin and Killington. I keep doing that. Basin and Killington. Boy, we gotta put some
cardinal directions.
Coordinates on the wall here. And I think with that said, we can get right into the news, Bob, unless you have anything insightful that you want to add.
No, I think you covered it.
Great. First topic of the week, FIS World Cup recaps. Can we just change the first topic of the week to Michaela Schifrin
Michaela
updates?
wins races. Sure.
It feels like it would be potentially more accurate of a title. Anyways, so Michaela Schifrin has officially tied Lindsey Vohn's women's win total record of 82 wins. And boy, she's skiing great. That giant slalom race, she skied just so well. It was unbelievable.
And not to diminish the other racers.
No, we're going to get to talk about a couple more here.
I just don't want to. I mean, she puts herself on a pedestal winning all the time, but these other people are doing great too.
Totally. She just, she's turning into an American superstar.
Right. Yeah, it's impressive.
So, pretty cool. She did have a chance to take the overall women's win record and was bested. Told you, Bob.
Yep.
She was bested by Petra Vlhova by 0.43 seconds.
That's a wide margin.
Yeah, I like seeing Petra back on top from time to time. Yeah. Obviously, big Michaela Schifrin fans over here, but Petra is an unbelievable skier, and when she's on, she's tough to beat even for Michaela. So congratulations to Petra, and also big shout out to Paula Moltzen for another top 5 finish.
She's skiing great too, doing awesome.
Just unbelievable.
Yep.
Yeah. Pretty cool to see. The women are headed to Switzerland for 2 Super G races, so that's next. Obviously, Super G is not Michaela's strength, but certainly not out of the question for her to pick up a win in one of those.
Well, she's still accumulating a massive amount of points overall by her Super G finishes.
Oh, totally.
That's huge for just overall standings.
Yeah, I don't think anybody has even a minuscule hope of catching her overall. And then on the men's side, the men were in Switzerland for giant slalom and slalom. There's actually a lot of stuff going on in Switzerland right now at various locations. At least from a United States perspective, giant slalom was the highlight there with River Radamus in 22nd and Tommy Ford in 27th. So earning some points.
Yep.
Great to see. The men are already in Wengen for 3 races, Super G, downhill, slalom. A lot of action in the upcoming week. So keep an eye out for that, and we will continue on the Michaela Schifrin watch.
I mean, she's just on tear.
She's on fire. Yeah. Always a fun way to describe snow sports.
On fire.
On fire. And then second topic of the week, this is just kind of piggybacking off of a theme that we've been talking about for a few weeks now, that being just the dichotomy of winter in the West right now versus the East and Europe.
Yep.
Quite a stark contrast. We've talked a lot about the La Nina weather system. Seems like it might be kind of loosening its grip.
We'll see. I mean, they just keep getting pounded out there. It's crazy.
Absolutely crazy. Like I said, Mammoth has a 230-inch base, which is hard to even imagine.
Yeah, I love watching these little videos and clips of them just digging tunnels, just to get out of a building.
Yeah.
It's just hilarious.
Yeah, I was telling you the other day, when I lived in Mammoth, we got a 9-foot storm over a 72-hour stretch, and that was the first time in my life where I had wished for less snow.
Right.
And not just a little bit less,
feet less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could we have half this amount of snow? Because it just made not only did it make the skiing hard, it made just living very hard.
Right. And you can't get there. They can't open the mountain. Even if they could open the mountain, you can't really go anywhere.
Yeah.
So there's just too much snow.
Yeah. Great problem to have though.
Yeah. And come June,
place is gonna be skiing
gonna be
phenomenal
crazy.
in June. Yeah. Love Mammoth in the summer. Anyways, meteorologists are starting to predict an end to the current atmospheric river that's been blasting the West Coast. I am certainly not a meteorologist, but supposedly as this weather pattern shifts to the north, it could kind of end up bringing more snow to the northeast, kind of through some Midwest storms that might kind of funnel up to us. So,
well, we'll look forward to that.
Yeah. Yeah. Fingers crossed. Knock on wood. We'll see what happens. Some updates from the kind of Cottonwood Canyon debacle. We've just been talking about this forever.
Yeah. If they're not going to do a gondola, they got to do something.
They got to do something, yep. They had some problems with the bus system earlier in the season, and we now have news that Salt Lake City and multiple ski resorts and local tourism agencies have all partnered to fund a private bus company, also being supported by $240,000 in government funding. And essentially this has created a new bus system to kind of funnel people up to Snowbird, Alta, Brighton, Solitude, operating Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I believe with a maximum weekly capacity of 1,200 skiers.
Yeah, and $10 a pop.
Yeah, which is very reasonable.
Yep. Yeah, and that, I mean, just sounded like they didn't have the drivers. That was the Utah buses didn't have the drivers, so they hired it out. And we've actually seen that up here at Stowe.
Are you pointing in the right direction?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Where they're hiring out, like, I think it's Richard's limousine service to do some of their shuttling just around the resort. So, yeah, I mean, it makes sense. If you can't,
do what you got to do.
Yeah, you got to pay for it, and then, they're not passing the entire cost on. It's subsidized. So, for that nominal $10 fee, you get a ride up the hill.
Yeah.
Seems good.
Yeah, I like bus rides.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're fun. If you get on a bus with like a good group of people, there can be some real camaraderie and like you really build your excitement for the ski day.
I mean, there's just so many people that are just, Salt Lake itself, and then people from here going there.
Oh yeah.
Because the skiing's great. And so they're just a ton of people in that area.
Right.
All trying to get to the same dead-end road.
I couldn't help but think that like a weekly capacity of 1,200 was kind of just a drop in the bucket. But when you start to think about like if that's 1,200 individual cars,
right?
And probably wouldn't be, but a lot of people do drive to the mountain just themselves.
Yep.
So when you start to think about like, say it's 150 cars per resort per week, like you're making an impact there, and you got to start somewhere. So. Obviously, we will talk about this again because this feels like the problem that is never going away. And then we had some fun with this one, Bob. Indy Pass and Native Camper Vans have joined forces. Indy Pass holders can rent a camping van at a discounted price that comes with winter camping essentials. And I just reserved you a van. I don't know if you knew. I went through and finished it. I put all your info in.
I saw you putting my info in. I'm going to get so many pop-ups and ads for vans.
I don't know. I thought it was interesting.
Yep.
I can't claim to be somebody that would really take advantage of this. It still wasn't like inexpensive. It seemed like over $100 a night, even with the discount. So.
But like Indy Pass seems to be their market.
That mentality
is like, you're not paying a lot for your skiing, and if you want to kind of get away with cheaper lodging, like this seems to be a good mix.
Yeah, sure, more of a minimalist attitude.
Yep.
Yeah, and for that person, I think it's great.
Yeah, and so they have different locations, that are within certain radius of.
According to the website, it was Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, and Denver.
Yeah, and
which
then
I suppose is. Those places are reasonably close. Like Las Vegas isn't that close to many ski areas.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but
Mammoth is closest, I think.
But is that an Indy?
No.
I think they're trying to line it up with their Indy resorts, saying, all right, you can get to these 4 resorts pretty close from Salt Lake.
Yeah.
I don't know where they are, but you still got to pay for mileage. You got to pay for.
No, it was fun going through like the reservation system on their website because there were some significant add-on options.
Like the preparation fee?
Yeah, what's an $80? Hey, if Native Camper Vans, if you're watching, what is your $80 preparation fee?
Yeah, it's like these Airbnb service fee.
What's wrong with the van right now?
Right. Your extra upcharge, surcharge.
If I want one of your vans, why do you have to prepare it for me? Why isn't it just ready?
Right, it should just be ready.
I don't know. I'm not trying to be negative here. I just enjoy kind of poking holes in things, and I also am not a fan of hidden fees like that.
Yeah.
But Bob, you'll be thrilled to know that I did add on a solar shower for you.
That's the only upgrade I wanted. I don't know how people stay clean and dry and warm in vans.
So you can pick up your van day after tomorrow. You owe them $1,400, and you can have it for a week.
In Salt Lake. So now I got to get to Salt Lake, too.
Yeah. If anybody thinks I'm serious, I am. No, I'm not really. I didn't rent Bob a van. That would be mean. But I do think it's cool. And I'm sure there are people that would get behind it.
Yeah.
I would rather take advantage of that in the summer. I just think about having a bunch of wet gear and then where do you put it and is it snowing overnight so I can't hang things outside. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm more of a hotel guy.
Again, it's just fun to speculate.
Yeah.
And then finally we have our edits of the week. So first up we have episode 41 out of 50 from the 50 Project. Love when they have these subtitles like this one of the worst places on the planet.
They're probably not underestimating.
Yeah. No. It makes the van camping
look like
luxurious. And then we have a 18-minute short-ish film called Tight But Loose. I really like the vibe with this. Kind of felt like classic ski movie. There was some good skiing, but also just some like good kind of lifestyle shots, and you got to feel the personality of the skiers, which was cool. And then this is just a short little edit called Fairly Mellow. And our esteemed colleague, Matt, referred to it in something like, it's fairly good.
Okay.
I'd say it's better than fairly good. It was excellent. And then finally we have Mount Hood, just another awesome edit from the Faction Collective. They continue to be kind of one of those brands like leading the charge on media outlets. We said that about Black Crows in one of the recent Top 5 Fridays, and I feel like you could say the same about Faction. They just keep churning out content, and it's so good. So,
really endless opportunities out there, it seems, in the Pacific Northwest for what they're doing.
Totally.
Building springtime jumps.
It's a great place to be. Yep. And I believe that's it for this week's Top 5 Friday Ski Industry News. Bob, do you have any closing thoughts?
Nope. Just more hockey this weekend. I'm surprised no one commented on our Mighty Ducks discussion last week, but all of those things will continue forward into the weekend.
I don't think I have any insightful Mighty Ducks references to make this week, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, you got to still watch Game Changers on Disney+.
And then maybe I'll be able to reference
we can talk about that next Friday.
All right. Well, until then, hope you have a great weekend. Hope you get out on snow, and we'll talk to you next week.
Bye.